Okay, so this term the topic is free time, and we're going to be continuing this topic into next term as well. And this is our first time introducing opinions, where we're going to start using opinions. We're using them in the context of sports, but of course it's valid for every other topic we will do. In fact, it's something we'll be using throughout all the time you'll be learning French with us. So for every topic, we'll be giving opinions, and it's something that we really want to get used to do correctly. So firstly, let's have a look at the vocab sheet, which has been shared with you. It has a box which we've worked with, so box number 1, which are opinions. All of those are I opinions, so opinions that yourself would have. We'll talk later about how to make these opinions someone else's, to say he loves, for example. So let's stick with the I opinions. I love, I like, I don't like. So firstly, some of the common mistakes that I saw last week. So sometimes people did not spot the accents, for example here, déteste, and also sometimes didn't spot the difference in accents. So this word here has an accent going towards the right on the first E, and an accent going towards the left on the second E, and nothing on the last one. This word is pronounced préfère, préfère. However, if you look at the other word, which is very, very similar, there are 3 accents instead of 2, and these 3 accents are all facing the same way. That's because they sound the same. Préférer, préférer. If I compare it to here, préfère, préfère, préférer, préfère, préférer. So they sound quite different, especially in real life, so we want to get the sound right. Je préfère mon sport préféré. And then we also worked on box number 2, so sports. You will have noticed that they all start with either L apostrophe, L-E, or L, let's find one, L-A. So try and remember what this word means on its own. Yeah, if you say it out loud, that's right. It means the. So effectively, the golf, the football, the horse riding. And it brings me to the first point about opinions in French. Whilst in English you would just simply say, I love athletics. In French, we use a slightly different way. We say, I love the thing. So the opinion plus the plus thing. Of course, the word the will change according to what? According to the gender of the word. So le badminton, because badminton is a masculine word, and la gymnastique, because gymnastique is a feminine word. Remember, it has nothing to do with boy or girl, it's just a category of word in French. The words that start with L apostrophe, have a think about why that is. We discussed that in class. Those 2, what do they have in common? L'athlétisme, l'équitation. We use L apostrophe when the next letter is a vowel. Okay, so we're going to be using this L apostrophe, of course, when we give the opinion. So let's practice that a little bit here with some examples. So I've written 5 simple examples here. Let's work through them together with the vocab sheet. And in your working task this week, you'll get to do this in your own time. So let's work through it together. I love handball. So you'll find I love, j'adore. Handball, let's find it. And remember, we need to use the, le handball. J'adore le handball. I hate tennis. I hate, je déteste. Let's find tennis. Le tennis. Je déteste le tennis. My favorite sport is rugby. So even though here it's a slightly different construction, we still need to have the after the opinion. So my favorite sport is, mon sport préféré c'est, we need that full thing. And actually we can recognize the word is here. Est. And then rugby. Le rugby. Mon sport préféré c'est le rugby. We can even use opinions with other words or things we've learned in the past. So for example, we've learned pets. So I wrote a sentence as you would say it in English, I like dogs. Now notice I wouldn't say I like dog in English, that would be a bit weird. I would say I like dogs. And so I need I like, so the opinion, plus the word the and the correct one, and the thing. So which word for the would I use for dogs? Would I use le, la, L apostrophe? Actually, I wouldn't use any of those. Have a think. So the word dogs is plural. So what is the way of saying the with something that is plural? And that would be in your notes from previous units. So plural the is les, L-E-S. J'aime les chiens. And of course, I need to make sure I have my S here. Now, of course, sometimes I want to be even more specific. So I might not use the if I'm being even more specific than this. I'm not just hating the sister, I'm hating my sister. So in this case, it is okay for me not to write the word the because I'm being even more specific. In the other ones, you notice I wasn't being very specific. I was saying I like dogs in general. I like tennis in general. I hate my sister. So I hate je déteste. And then here I need to look up my. Now, if you remember, there's 3 ways of saying my in French, and it needs to match the thing it describes because it's an adjective. And sister, when I look it up, is going to be feminine. And a good hint for this is because when we're talking about people, I can actually go as to whether they're a boy or girl. So sister is feminine. So the feminine form of my is ma. So my sentence would be je déteste ma sœur. Now, there's even one more form of opinion, which you learned all the way at the start of year 7. We just didn't really talk about it being an opinion. And let's have a look at it. So something you might want to say in English is like, meh, it's all right. And we have learned how to say meh, and we have learned how to say it's all right. And we did this when we were talking about how you were doing. So we'd say, how are you? Meh, I'm okay, it's all right. So have a think, maybe have a look in your notes. You can pause the video. How to say meh. Little tip, it sounds meh in very French way. And then it's all right is another way of saying it's going, it's okay. So the answer would be le football, bof, ça va. So you notice here, oops, it's hiding. You notice here under football, I needed to use le because I am not being specific like with my sister. I'm being football in general, so I do need to use the. Le football, mais, bof, and then ça va. So when we learned ça va, we learned that it doesn't translate very exactly into English, but it kind of means it's all right, it's okay, I'm okay. Le football, bof, ça va. So all the opinion phrases in box number 1 plus bof, ça va, you will be encountering in this week's exercises. And I would encourage that you try and use a range of them as well when you do the writing bit, so that you get used to all of them. Of course, throughout, pay attention to your spelling. Ensure you write the accents if they are there and that they're facing in the right direction. So none of this is a test. So make sure you use your book when you do it. It's all about getting used to using the correct version of a word so that you remember more easily how to write it accurately and how to remember the word altogether. And there we go.